Hi, I'm Lyndsey Pearson and I've come to speak to Patricia Bevan of Past and Beyond Spiritual Centre in Newport today. Hi Trish.
Hello Lyndsey.
How old was you exactly when you first had your spiritual experiences?
Going back, obviously I'm 54 now, so going back my first 6 years old, maybe slightly younger, but 6 years old from when I can remember.
And where exactly was that?
Well, my grandmother ran a chapel of rest, known then of Tubby and Morris over Clean Road, and obviously I used to stay over there. But at the age of 6 years old, you don't realise it was a spirit.
No.
I used to go in the chapel and I used to play on the organ, and obviously used to see spiritual people. I didn't think they were spiritual people. I thought it was like, children today, they have down the bottom of the garden of the fairies.
Yes.
I was in that magical, mystical world.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, spirits and all wasn't talked about in my day.
No. People might say it was your imagination if you spoke about it.
Yeah.
And what were you like as a child? Were you quite confident or?
No, opposite, to be honest, Lyndsey. I was 6 years old. I was deaf, believe it or not. I suffered from not being able to hear. Obviously, I had operations, and I was a very introvert. Always got told off by the teachers because I was looking out the window, daydreaming. To be honest, half the time I was seeing spirit at that age.
Communicating?
Yeah.
Were you communicating with them as well?
Yeah, especially in the hallway in the school, I'd see what I know now as Margarita, a Victorian lady. I always used to watch her in the hall. I'd be staring from the classroom out and didn't think nothing of it. It was only when I went back over the chapel, I used to see Margarita all the time. So.
How did you find out who she was?
I didn't know who she was. At the age of 6 years old, I just thought it was, once again at 6 years old, you think, oh, there's the lady, a Victorian lady in her black dress, with the peak and the lace. I didn't even put it into, or give it any thought, I should say. It just happened. I just took it on board and just went.
Did you feel comfortable with seeing the spirits? Yeah.
I love seeing the spirits because when I was a child, obviously, and as I say, going back in my time, my parents were going through a real bad time. My mum was obviously putting up with a lot of physical, mental abuse, and I watched it as well.
Okay. So
although I was going introvert, it was I loved that headspace of
like a release, I suppose.
Yeah, and I used to love going over my grandmother's because being the youngest, I was always packed off every weekend, every school holiday, 6 weeks. I was over the chapel of rest, but it was a place of heaven for me.
Yeah, you felt comfortable.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Did you tell anyone about what you saw or experienced, or did you like to keep it to yourself?
Only my one friend, Gaynor, because it was Gaynor. She lived at the back of the lane where my mum lived, and I always used to talk to her about ghosts, spirits. Do you see this? Do you see that? In school, no, I kept it to myself. I suppose even at that age, it's something you don't.
No, because you don't want to be different to anyone else, or.
Well, I struggled with friends.
Okay.
You do at that age,
Yeah.
thinking, and I thought, oh my God, if I tell them that, but there was no conversation of, oh, I see ghosts, or I see this, because I never heard it. I thought, well, I'm not pushing it, telling them, so I really kept that to myself. Although my grandmother knew.
Oh, she did.
My grandmother knew, yeah. When I used to go in the chapel, obviously, 6 years old, I mean, this generation, when to have a piano or to have an organ, it was like magical, wasn't it?
Yes.
And when my grandma say, oh, go and play on the organ, oh my God, it was bliss. I'd be there for hours and hours. And I'd go in the chapel, my nan would stay in the office doing her books with the door open, and she would say, go and see if they want a cup of tea. That meaning the corpses, because in them days it was no cremations, it was 90% burials. So I'd go in the chapel, put my fingertips on the coffin, go, cup of tea? Didn't think nothing of it. No, now they don't want a cup of tea. So I'd carry on with the organ, like that. And then I'd notice they were talking to me. And then my nan would carry on, she'd say, I'm going up to the flat. Can I stay here, Nana? Can I stay here? And in them days there wouldn't just be one corpse, there could be 3 or 4 corpses in the same chapel. And I just remember having a conversation.
Could your nan see spirit as well, or?
I wasn't too sure, to be honest, but there was some little snippets, and she used to talk about it. But I got to be honest, Lyndsey, at that age, when I was growing up, we didn't really have the conversation.
No. It just seemed natural, I suppose.
Yeah, natural to her.
I understand, obviously I've seen some of your work before with children that have come to you that have had spiritual encounters, and it scares them. What would you say to those children, or worries they're not, well, scared or worried?
In today's time, if I heard of a child, I mean, like on the website there's Isabel, a psychic child. My advice to Isabel was to talk about it. If it's affecting a child where they can't sleep, they're hearing spirit, they've got no control, it's making them depressed, or they can't function in everyday life, I would tell them to seek out either your local spiritualist church, or go to workshops. I mean, I've been teaching workshops and I see people come, people go, they just want to know the mechanics of the work, and then they're fine. Everybody puts the, like if you hear a noise, you think, they always put the fear factor, don't they? Oh, what's that? It's evil, it's from the dark side. And yet I always say, Lyndsey, it could be your grandmother coming through, But I would say always seek out advice if it's affecting you. If it's not affecting them, then just carry on. It'll either break off, they'll become more active within their everyday life, and then they won't get as much of the paranormal experiences.
Okay. Do you think people can pick to be a psychic or a medium, or again, like going into your workshops? I know we've spoke about people coming along and they might think they have the ability to speak to spirit, and some people might not have ever experienced it. Is it something you can pick and choose? Or?
I always say everybody comes into this world, the earthly world, and everyone can transist into the other world. So everyone have got an ability. Yeah. And you'll hear stories, and if you research, when people are like on their deathbed, or they'll say, "Oh, I seen the light," or "I was taught," and scientists are getting into that field. So I think every one of us on this earth, whether it's in a dream state or an awakened state, if they can be honest, will say they've had a paranormal dream, they've had a knowing, their sixth sense have told them that was going to happen. Everybody have got that ability. And I always say to my students, if you wanted to sing, right, and you go to someone who teaches singing, everyone have got the ability to sing. Like everyone got the ability to do this work, but I'm not saying everybody is going to be a Pavarotti or a whatever, or be a psychic or be a medium, but everyone have got that ability of a knowingness beyond their 5 normal senses.
Yes. I know myself personally, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, when my nan passed, I'm pretty sure she came to me in a dream.
Yeah.
And I remember her lying next to me in my bed, and I I was stroking her face and I could feel her skin, it was as soft as it had always been.
There you are.
And I'd not breathed properly because I'd been very busy in work, and she told me if I didn't stop I was going to make myself poorly, and I actually ended up having to have a whole week off work because I just completely not collapsed, but my body just shut down. And I believe she came to me to tell me that.
Yeah.
But then I think that's why I obviously believe, and I don't, you know, I think skeptics are wrong in being skeptical. Obviously people are going to be skeptical about it. I think in terms of terminology as well, things that might confuse people is the difference between like a psychic and a medium.
Yeah. Going back, if I can,
Yeah.
you said about skeptics. I believe it's okay to be skeptical, but not cynical.
Yes.
You know, and that really annoys me with that. So, you know, for the point, and I'm the person that I gotta have fact. I gotta have solid evidence. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this work I'm doing. So yeah, with skeptics, you know, don't judge until you've experienced it.
And I know you say that when you have your events, don't you? You say at the beginning of your events.
Yeah.
Some people might go there to see. I think a lot of people are interested in it, aren't they? But they need to see it to believe it.
Yeah. It's like my events are not. It's not a cult where I'm dragging people in.
No, not at all.
People come at their own free. And say like, you know, you get negative people coming. And obviously in the past we've had people say, oh, it's fixed, it's, you know, and I as you can see on video footage, I give the opportunity where, you know, with demos where it can't be fixed, because obviously with the ball, which I hand everyone, I hand everyone in the audience the ball, and if they want to ask me a question, they can ask me a question, and normally I'll pick up on them. So if everyone have had the opportunity to ask me a question, how is it fixed? But yeah, going back to the skeptics, I haven't got to prove anything.
No.
But there is a lot of trolls.
Trolls, yeah, and we've spoke about this.
Yeah.
For instance, on referring back to Isabel earlier, the video that's on YouTube, I spoke to her about the trolling. I said to her, it's almost trolling comments. It's not even people who are skeptical, it's people just being completely negative.
Yeah.
And I think that's today's society, that technology side is classed as trolling because they've just been unkind for no reason, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Saying obviously that, you know, you were bringing children in that believe they have a spirit, a sense of spirit, and training them up, and then you're making money from them, which obviously isn't.
Where are they? Where are these children? Yeah, I mean, I've been there to help people, and Isabel, I've been teaching for 10 years, as I said, you know, Isabel, and you know, she's done the video, her mum brought her because she was struggling, as I say, grooming. I'm not grooming no kids, and I say, and for cost and all, Isabel come to me free of charge.
Yeah.
I've given her hundreds of phone calls free of charge. She came to my workshops free of charge. We're not all out there for money.
No.
I related to Isabel through my own experiences.
Yeah. You said that in the video, didn't you, that you feel she's like a photocopy of yourself?
Yeah, photocopy. But these trolls do, I mean, I'm human at the end of the day. It's so sad. I wouldn't abuse anything on if I wasn't into this field, or I wouldn't abuse them and put comments on. However, if I felt that strong about the spiritual work and I was a troll, I would at least take the time to research the mechanics, have a better understanding before they put harsh remarks and nasty cruel remarks, I should say. At least understand. If I can just say, I'm trying to work with a professor in Swansea. I've been trying everywhere for people to research me.
Yeah.
I would love to have to have I can't say the word, the contacts, the pads, and have my brain. A lot of people say brain, she hasn't got a brain. you know, I've said it before anyone else, but to be tested, wave frequencies and all like that. But yeah, it is a hard, I didn't pick this gift, and what you'll find, 99% mediums out there don't pick this gift, it picks you.
Yeah, and does it ever make you wonder why, you know, oh, I won't bother doing it, or do you do it? You do it because you know you make a difference.
I would give up doing this work. Imagine I've been seeing spirit since the age of 6. I'm 54 now. I've been doing this work and seeing spirit. When I was a child, it was frightening.
Yeah.
It wasn't no plain sailing. It was understanding. It's taken me years and years to understand the process of my work, or how I receive. It's like a diploma. You never stop learning.
No.
You keep learning. I mean, my life with doing these work covers murders, suicide, freak accidents. I mean, hangings. It's not the everyday life that I would pick, and yet I think now I'm on it, that you can't get off it. You know, because spirit won't just stop. If I retire tomorrow, it don't just stop. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing the best I can to my ability to do the best of the work I can do. That makes sense, Laura. But see what I mean? I'm trying to do the very best.
Because people have said that you, well, not you yourself, but people that see spirit prey on like the vulnerable to get them in, obviously to make the money.
Yeah.
But I know you haven't had, you know, you said to me far from vulnerable people come in. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, what you'll find, I never advertise my readings. And for the viewers who's watching this tape, I just don't do clairvoyance. I do hypnotherapy, de-stress management. I teach psychics to develop their gifts, meditation. I'll do massages, I do the beauty side, and so I'm not putting and I find doing this work, if you're genuine, you couldn't, well for me, I gotta watch what I say, but for me, I personally couldn't do 8 hours of clairvoyance every single day. You go to, you know, I mean, you know, you do what you do, you can do that every day, and you know that's your job, and that's what you do. Clairvoyance is draining, so I've got to limit my readings and mix them in.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, would I, if I was in it for the money and preying on vulnerable people, I'd be doing it every day.
Yeah.
On about the vulnerable, I get barristers, doctors, a stream of police, people who work in the police. It just goes from the high professions. Now, are they vulnerable?
No.
As I said, I don't advertise. It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I know that I've seen people obviously recommend you, obviously with the Society's Day via Facebook, people saying they want to speak to a medium, and I've seen people personally recommend you, and I've heard myself, you know, wonderful things about you. In terms of medium and psychic, what is the difference? Because I've always wondered this myself.
Right. Psychic, I mean, if we go on an everyday person, you've got your 5 senses, your natural 5 senses of taste, feel, touch, smells, you know, you're there. So a psychic is using their 6th sense. Their 6th sense of feeling someone's energy, tuning into their well-being, maybe future events, maybe their past, their present, their future. That is a psychic. What a psychic medium is, because a medium is a psychic,
Okay.
a medium can do all the abilities the psychic got. But a medium can communicate with your loved ones which are passed over.
So they're like the middle person between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
A psychic might never ever get to the ability of a medium.
Okay.
And this is what confuses or makes me smile, because if people ring me up, they'll go, can I book a psychic reading in? And I go, yes, that's okay, I'm a psychic medium. Oh, I don't want the medium, I just want the psychic. But they don't realise a medium is a psychic.
Okay.
You know, so.
I know you briefly spoke about your experiences. I know you said for 10 years you did a lot of your work for free. Again,
Yeah.
going back to the, you know, with the trolling side of things, you're not doing it for money. I was just interested to know a bit more about, you said to me that you did the crime scenes in Pennsylvania. I don't think I ever heard about that.
Yeah. My personality, Lyndsey, I gotta give my all, and I was stubborn. I was working a day job. Obviously, everyone needs an income, so I was working a day job, and then I do a reading, and it's all recommendation. And I used to hate the phone going, to be honest, because when I done my day job, I come home and my husband would hand me the phone, Patricia, and I knew it was a reading, and they go, oh, you've done a reading from my friend free, could you see me? Could you see me? And I was stubborn, because I know what the world's like out there with skeptics. So how I went 10 years, I do not know.
It was a long time.
It is a long time.
Yeah.
And for those mediums out there, if you do it for free, you will have the longest queue on your doorstep ever, and it is draining. But I had this thing where I had to prove myself, well, if I do it for free, how can I be a charlatan?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the moment I can't, and I say to my students, how many of you can give your day job up? How many of you can lose your, you know, your wages? So obviously now I do a little bit of all different therapies, so I can give 100% to my readings.
Yeah, and people can get that. I suppose, do people, what do people come looking for when they come for a reading? Is it for closure, or is it?
I always say there's all different types of clients. Some might come on the back of, oh, we're going out with the girls, let's go for a meal, and then let's go back, let's book a reading just for the fun of it. There's clients which cannot move on, which are struggling with their loss of a loved one, which is, you know, traumatic, so they're struggling with grieving. There's clients which I've got one client which I've got to know really well, only through coming from, she got a book on her son's birthday every year, because he passed over every year, and I think she's been coming for 10 years. I'm not naming names, obviously, but if she's watching this, she'll know who she is. And she comes just to have that closeness, that knowing her son is still there.
Yeah.
So you get all different, I feel they won't get closure, because you never get closure with someone who passed over, but you'll get some form of healing.
Yeah, that's a lovely way of putting it.
That's what
You spoke briefly about the research earlier. I know you wanted to speak a little bit more about that with the professor from, is it Swansea?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about how you've got into that, or like experience you've had via that?
Yeah, I mean, with my work, I definitely would love, I mean, this Penny, I can never say her name. I just call it
Saratori.
Yeah,
Saratori.
Penny. I just call her Penny from Swansea. She's hoping to get funding. I've written her numerous letters with my experiences, and hopefully one day, if she can get the funding, we can go for it. What I've been experiencing is that I'm communicating with people that's still here, but with Alzheimer's. And because they're in their subconscious, I go in my subconscious when I'm receiving. Obviously, I've had a string of disabled clients which have come to me, some sadly with brain damage, deaf and no sight, and this has gone on over years and years, and even I'm thinking, what is this about? How can a medium communicate with somebody who's alive? You know, you'll find if someone's in a coma, a medium can communicate. If someone got Alzheimer's, a medium can communicate. What is all that about?
Yeah.
And that's the side where I want the professor to
look at the brain state, I suppose.
yeah.
So obviously it's very complex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that, like, do you see and hear spirit all the time, or?
I've learned to control it.
Okay.
Using your clay abilities is draining. I mean, I could be, say, on holiday, and I'm thinking, this is my time for me. And there is a lady on my Facebook who befriended me. We were in Lanzarote, my husband's come back to me here. We went to have a breakfast in this restaurant, and I looked at my husband, looked at the waitress, and I said, I got her husband coming through. This waitress was probably only in her 40s.
Okay.
So I left it, I said, and I walked away. We enjoyed our breakfast, walked away. Well, we went back to the same restaurant, same waitress, and her husband started talking to me. And I said to my husband, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm on holiday, you can get chucked out, or, you know, whatever. So I heard him say, give her the message. So I'll never forget it. And obviously I said, would you believe in the spiritual realms, spirits, paranormal? And she said yes. And I said, thank God, because your husband's been doing my head in for the last blah blah blah. Well, she grabbed a chair, Lyndsey, she sat down, and my husband was like that, and he was giving me names, he was telling me all about her. But he switched me on. I was there on holiday, minding my own business, and spirit coming to me. So you've got to learn to control them. I can go in town, and I think, oh, I'm going to be nosy now. So I'll go in my subconscious, and I think, oh, especially if I'm sat down, and then I go back. But yeah, you've got to learn to control it. And it's not healthy to be switched on. You'd be absolutely drained.
No, I can imagine. Would you like to talk about the experience with your mum when she passed, or?
Yeah, that's another one for the professor.
Yeah.
My mum lived with me obviously 9 months. I done all her care, even give her the injections, done everything for her, and I wouldn't never change that again. My mum knew of my gift. This is another spin for the tape and me getting proof. Obviously my mum knew I meditated, she knew I'd done all this, and my mum passed of bowel cancer.
Yeah.
So I'd sit by my mum's bed and I'd meditate, and I said, Mum, let me give you some healing. Now, it's not me who's healing, it's the channel, it's the higher realms. So I put my hands on my mum's stomach. I knew she was going to pass, I knew. So I said to the higher realms, my guides, take my mum's pain away. I'd done this about 3-4 times with my mum. Dr. Redmore from the Grange in Malpas, in Newport, South Wales, so they can research, whoever wants to research, he knew what I'd done. So the nurses that were coming said, your mum will be on a syringe driver, she'll be on this, she'll be on morphine, she'll be on blah 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 blah. My mum passed, Lynn's, right, on cocodamol.
Oh wow.
The GP, Dr. Redmore, he said it's unheard of.
Yeah.
She actually passed on that. So I said to Dr. Redmore, I've been writing a book. The people out there get enough trolls, I get enough thing. I said, can you give me my mum's records up until the day she passed of her medication? Because I'm writing this in a book.
Yeah. If
I don't get this proof or this evidence, once again, they're going to say that's a load of... And he gave me my mum's medical records,
Everything she needed.
everything up until the day she passed, all her medical, and what is on there is co-codamol. With bowel cancer,
Yeah.
he said it's not known.
No.
And so that's another thing where I want to share with Penny, the professor, because this work just do not stop surprising me. And my personality, yeah, you've got to prove yourself. But for the skeptics out there, I'll sit with the skeptics and I'll make my work as bulletproof as I can.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they don't know me, they don't know my personality. And yeah, it is hurtful. I got out broad shoulders to do this work. And I'm fine. But when a medium like me is trying to find a professor to research me, and I can't, I can wait upon Penny, that's frustrating.
Yeah. Because you just want to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you say it's a gift, do you think it's a gift, or do you see it as a gift? A talent, I suppose people would say.
I don't know if I wouldn't say it's a talent. It can be a gift, but it can also be a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
The reason I say a gift, when you know you can connect to the higher realms. I meditate. I see beautiful, wonderful, magical, mystical visions, which do come into my everyday life. And then the curse would be if I know, like I knew 2 years prior that my mum was going to be ill. I knew that she wasn't going to be here, even though she was well at the time.
And you've got to deal with that.
I got to deal with
That's
that.
your mum, yeah.
So
obviously.
to me, I personally, unless I can protect them or, prevent something, but her cancer was found after, I used to say to my mum, you sure you want to check that? You check. But the doctor, they didn't check her bowel.
Okay.
So in that way, to me, having that responsibility or that knowing, oh, my mum's not going to be here, and living that life, that my mum's not going to be here, I would say it's like a curse.
Yeah, because I know that's something I personally would worry about. I think about, when, touch wood, my mum would pass, and I'm obviously very close to my mum.
Yes.
And that worries me now, but obviously I don't know when it's going to happen, but knowing that must be awful. I don't know how people would obviously deal with that again. And the skeptics was, who would say to the skeptics, well, why would you want to live with that feeling?
Yeah.
Because it's not something you can pick and choose,
No,
is it?
as a medium and a psychic, you got that.
Myself personally, just interested in how you see things from the future. I know, like, to see what's going to happen. How does that come to you? If you can explain that in a way, or
I always think, like say you've got your choices in your earthly life. You've got your choices. Spirit can reflect an image about your life onto me, and I can give it to you. I see, say, a wedding in 18 months.
okay.
I see this name coming around you. It might come into your life, but it's still your decision whether you make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody on this earth got an earthly choice, but they can predict, they can see. I mean, I've had loads of clients, they'll say, didn't take this at the day of the reading, and I'll say, keep it for 18 months. They'll email me, oh my gosh. I mean, one lady...
I was about to say, actually, have you got any nice experiences where people have come back to you?
Look, I got a folder full, absolute folder. I love feedback, folder full. I'll give you an example without mentioning name, because it is all code to contact. What happens in my readings got to stay in my readings apart from the higher realms, they know about it. I gave this one lady a message from her mother, and I said, you're going to move. I'm not moving. I said, let me just do the reading. Your mum's saying you're going to move. And she was adamant, I'm not moving. And I said, well, your mum's given me, you will move. It'll be your choice, obviously, but you will move. And when you move, it'll have church in the address.
And that's a lot of detail, obviously, to know,
Church.
isn't it?
And she was adamant, and she left. A few months later, we'll say not even 8 weeks later, I can dig the email up and I'll know the times. And she said, I have moved, and I've moved to Churchview. So
Amazing.
spirit knows a little bit more than, you know, they know. I always think they're looking down, you know, like the film The Clash of the Titans, when you've got all the gods and they're looking down. They can see what's for you, but they can't make it happen. They can guide you, they can show you who's coming into your life, but it's down to you, because you've got your own choices.
Yeah. In terms of, I keep saying about the skeptics, but I know we want to obviously try and not prove, but just show them that it is, you know, a gift as such. When people come to you, if you obviously you've had skeptics come to you, do you find they have to be open towards you, or if they're shut off, does that make your work trickier?
Yeah, it will, because, you know, like crossing your arms, but, or someone going like that, I gotta feel relaxed. When I do my clairvoyant work, I'm not working in my subconscious, in my conscious. I gotta go into like a daydream of relaxation to get into my theta delta state. So like when you go to sleep, you're going into your theta delta and you drift off. Now, how can I do that if there's a negative person in front of me going like, come on, see, I gotta relax. And I'd rather turn people away. I'll say to clients even now who rings me, keep your money in your purse, only come if you feel you need to come.
Yeah.
And if there's people watching this video, it's going on YouTube, and I've said that to you, make a comment that I've said that to you. As I say with the skeptics out there as well, I don't work weekends.
No.
I don't want to work nights.
No.
Which I mean, I go up to 7 o'clock, but if someone offered me £1,000 to work on the weekend, my life, my family life is more important. So how am I in it for the money?
No. Yeah, and a lot of people will say that when you read your, looking on your Facebook page, there's a lot of, well, it's all positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where people have said they came as skeptics to your events, and I've personally sat in an event where people have been shocked with what you've come out with and have said, you know, straight away on the Facebook page afterwards, I've seen people commenting straight away saying how you come to them and you told them things they never thought, you know, would be possible. And just yourself as a person, I know you're very well thought of. So it's not that you're doing it for the wrong reasons as such. I can't think of anything else.
Well, with my events as well, and I don't want to make me look as if, you know, but I like to give a little. You know, and they go on about these famous mediums, oh, they're this and that, and they charge this. I'm small fish. I'm a little fish in a little bowl to the amazing John Edwards. John Edwards is my idol. And they say, oh, they're on it, you know. They've got theatres to pay. I mean, I'm only small fish, and even like the events I got, it's costing me hundreds.
Yeah.
I donate £2 of every ticket I sell to my hospital, because I'm a patient there, to Valindra. A lot of people don't understand how much time mediums give, free time, how much they put in, you know, and there's a lot of overheads as well.
Yeah, so for instance, you say you gave that reading on holiday, that lady didn't give you any money for that.
No exchange.
And how many people would do their job outside of?
I done the Pennsylvania, and if she's there, because she's on my Facebook, I can't name, but if she's there and she's watching this video, I mean, I worked on a crime scene. Yeah. I had no charge.
And you went to speak to Spirit, who, from the people that were passed from the crime scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I got photos to prove it.
Is that something that's done, because I've never heard of that before, is that something that's done quite, like, regularly in America, or?
No, I mean, this lady came to a student of mine, and the student didn't, well, at the time, I mean, she probably could do the work now, she passed her on to me, and all we had was a photo of 2 women, and that's all I had. And obviously I meditated, tuned into the picture, and over the next couple of weeks I was picking up snippets, and the story was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and obviously I contacted her through email, and I got the emails to prove it as well, of what I picked up before even having the conversation with her. And she said, oh my gosh, the email says, for not picking up much, you are certainly getting the hits. And I then said, would you like to go on Skype? We spent weeks, you know, in contact, giving her more information. And because of the skeptics out there and me teaching, I said, would you be able to send me the pictures of the case which I'd given you, because it was all smack on. And I actually got the crime scene photos, because she was allowed to have them.
Okay.
There's been a few. But that meant a lot to me, because it's proving that is the case. Obviously I'm not going to show them to anybody,
No.
but I got them there. Like, if this professor wanted to cover that story, got all the evidence, all the emails. But yeah, totally free again. Mine for the tape. I'm no longer free. I worked my butt off doing my therapies.
Yes,
I'm no longer free. 10 years I've done my apprenticeship, and in today's society, anyone out there, tell me who can work free?
No, it's impossible.
It's draining. It is draining, and I limit my readings.
Is there anything else you'd like to cover for the tape, or speak about with me?
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
All in. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, Patricia.